All right. So just give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you guys are already in front of your computer or smartphone. Okay. Okay, good. At least maybe more than half of you are already here. All right. So let me just share my screen. Ah, is it? Can you guys see my screen already? Kita niyo na ba yung screen ko? Na-share ko na ba? Ah, okay. All right.
Yes,
So,
sir.
okay, good. So, any questions so far regarding with your third quiz and fourth quiz before we proceed to sample problem number 5? Anything that you guys would like to clarify? All right, so I guess none. So if there is no more question, let's now proceed to the sample problem number 5. So in here, in temperature countries like Japan, there are 4 seasons. April to June is spring, July to September is summer, October to December is autumn, and January to March is winter. So we wish to write a program that allows the user to select a date using datetime picker. The output of the program is the season associated with that month and a picture of the season. Okay, so here are the sample pictures that it wants us to display. So April to June or 4 to 6 is with this picture. July to September is 7 to 9 or this, with this corresponding picture. October to December or 10 to 12 is with this picture. And then March, I mean January to March is winter or 1 to 3 is winter. Okay, or it wants us to display this picture right here. All right, so to make it simple, yeah. Okay, so we have already an existing solution right here or the code for the sample problem number 5. And then here's the sample output. Okay, so it only has 3 components. So a label right here, and then a date time picker, and then a call this one picture box. Okay, so in my case, I already have my own existing sample problem number 5. So let me just open that one to make things quick and easy. So we have a label, a date time picker, and then a picture box. Okay, and then here's the code. So the one that you need to program in here is this date time picker right here. So just double click this one, and then it will lead you to this coding section. So in here, I declared m as integer. Okay, what is that static noise? Okay, all right. So in here, whatever is the value of your datetime picker will be passed on to the variable m. Okay, so you can also get the year if you want. You can also get the date, but since we're only concerned with the month, okay, since that's the one that will keep on changing the season, so we're only going to get the value of month, and then it will be passed on to variable m. And then variable m now is the one that being put on the comparison algorithm. So in here, if we have 4 to 6, okay, ranging from 4 to 6, it will display this picture right here. Okay. All right. So to make it simple, let me erase everything on how did I come up with that one, because in here it's coming from the my local storage. Okay. So we have this 4 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 12, and then 1 to 3. Okay, it is this one right here, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 12, and then 1 to 3. And then beside it is their corresponding picture. Okay, so we have this function right here which will get the picture image that from file. Okay, whatever is the location and then the picture, it will be displayed on our picture box one. Okay, so in my case, I have my pictures on my folder pictures and then another folder pictures right here. Okay, will give us these items. So in here I have my autumn, I have my summer, I have my spring right here, and then I have my winter. So all I need to do is get the location or the address of this specific picture. So the first one is spring. So let me find or look for the spring. So spring, 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 spring. This one, spring. So once you have already the image of the spring, then right click and then go to properties and then go to location, copy the address or the location and then paste it on our code right here. Okay, and then just put another slash because it's just the location. We still need the name of that specific picture. So in here the name of the picture is spring, so capital S and then small letter PRING. And in here we need to put the extension. So is it JPEG, JPG, PNG, GIF? So just again go back to the properties and then check the type of file. So in here this one is a .jpg or JPG file. So just put here .jpg. Okay, and as you guys can see I have the same location for the others, autumn, summer, and winter, but just a different name. And then all of them are actually JPG. Okay, so again if you're not sure, just right click and then go to properties to check the type of file. Okay, so I'll just copy everything and then we'll just change the name. Okay, this one is summer, I guess. Let's check. Yeah, summer. And then the third one is autumn and then winter. Autumn. Make sure that you put the correct spelling. And then winter. Okay, all of them are JPG. And then we can now save this one and then click start to check whether it's correct or no. Let me just close this folders right here. Yeah. Anyway, so in here, initially we have blank since we haven't triggered the code yet. So if you want to trigger the code, then you have to choose a month. So just move this one. So there you go. We now have the picture of summer up to August, and then after that, up to September. Then after that, October now is autumn. Okay, up to December, I guess. Yeah. And then January now is winter. Okay, up to March. And then April is spring. Okay, up to June. So there you go. That's how the sample problem number 5 worked. So do you guys have a question so far or clarification, or were you guys able to get the idea of this sample problem number 5 right here? Okay, only one. What about the others? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So maybe at least half of you were able to get this one. Okay then. So let's now move on to the next syntax. Okay. So in here, we have now compound statements. So before we only have single statement. Okay. One condition and then one statement. But you can also have multiple statements like this one. So one condition and then multiple statements. So you can have as many statements that you want. Okay, if you need 10 statements, no problem. If you need 20, 30, no problem. Okay, just put it down right here. So if it's one statement and one condition only, this one is already okay. Okay, you don't need and if right here. But if you need multiple statements, you now have to include and if right here. Okay, and then you can now put multiple statements. So to give you guys an idea, we have this example right here. So if this is true, then these three statements will be executed. Okay, as long as the syntax is correct, as long as the format is correct, then everything will be fine. Okay, so again, no need to analyze what is happening. This is just an example. Okay, I'm just telling you guys that if this is true, these three statements will be executed. If this is false, nothing will happen since we didn't included the false condition right here. All right, so we have another syntax, okay, in which you can now put a false statement. So we have this true condition right here. So if this is true, this true statement will be executed. However, if this is false, okay, then it will fall under this false statement right here. So again, to give you guys an idea, we have this example right here. So if this is true, this will be executed. But if this one is false, then it will now proceed to this else statement right here. Okay. So did you guys get the logic or the concept? Hello, hello. So you don't need to memorize anything for now. At least just the idea, okay, on how to use if else statement. Okay, very good. So let's have a real example for you guys to appreciate how to use this if else statement right here. So we have sample problem number 6. So write a program that allows the user to input for the username and password, and then display successful login if the username is S218 and password is computer. Otherwise, display the message alert intruder. So I know that you guys can already relate with this one. So you must be strict with username and password. Other than that, if it's not, if it wasn't able to match the existing username and password, the rest are already incorrect. Okay, or it will inform as alert intruder. Okay, so let me show to you guys my pre-made sample problem number 6. Okay, all right. So this is just a picture box with the picture of the logo of civil engineering and architecture, ISEA. Yeah, the ISEA logo. And then we have here three labels: the username, password, and then user authentication. And then we have here two text box. So one for the username and then one for the password. Okay, and then we have one button right here. So again, the one that we need to program is this login button. So as you guys can see, we have declared two variables. So here's a hint on how many variables you will declare. So mostly we are declaring, let's say, if you have 5 inputs, mostly we also declare 5 variables. We always pass those inputs into a certain variable. Okay, just a short name of variable. With that, we can easily call that specific variable, just by putting 3 letters, 2 letters, etc., etc. Because we don't need to, we don't want to type the entire name of text box 1. So instead of text box 1, we can just use 4 letters. Okay. And then notice that in here we have UK, so we'll deal on that one later. But for now, again, whatever is the value of your text box 1 is being passed onto the variable user. The same with text box 2, it is being passed on the variable pass. Okay, and then in here we have UK, so this is just a function on no matter what is the case of your input, so lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't matter. It will be converted into uppercase. So I believe I have already mentioned this one or discussed this one on the video tutorial. So if you want to transform everything into lowercase, then just change this one into L. Okay, so L stands for lower, U stands for upper. Okay, so with that, we are making the inputs case or not case sensitive. Okay, because even though I have put the lowercase, it will still be accepted as long as you have the same characters. Okay. All right, so in here we have user is equal to user. So as you guys can see, we have capital. Okay, so it should match this word right here, capital user. Same with pass. We have my password. So in here, they have used computer for password, and then they have used S218 for the username. But in my case, I'll use user for my username, and then my password for my password. Just to do make some changes. And if this is true, then this one will be executed or will be displayed. However, if this is false, then it will proceed to this else statement right here. So alert intruder will be displayed instead. All right, so without a further delay, let's try this one. So username is user. So let's try a small letter. Yes, even though it's small letter, it will be converted to capital letters anyway. And then password. So let me just remove the masking for now, so that you guys can see what I'm typing. Okay, user and then my password. Okay, so if I click login, so of course we're expecting a successful login. Okay, because we have matched the username and then the password. Okay, but if this is incorrect, let's say users and then my password, then of course it will trigger the false statement. Okay, which is now alert intruder. So the same with the password. So if this is correct, but your password is incorrect, let's say my passwords will still give us the false statement, which is alert intruder. Now, of course, you don't want your password to be seen by the others. So Visual Studio has that feature. So just click this text box right here and then look for password car. Okay. So in here, it's empty initially. So what you wanted to do is put your asterisk so that whatever is the input, it will be converted into asterisk. Okay. So let's try this one again. So user and then my password. So there you go. Click login, successfully login. See an incorrect password was alert intruder. Okay. So yeah, and then even though this one is capital R, so oops, let me just make this one correct. Password, my password. There you go. So it will still give us successfully login. So if you want to stick with the capitalizations of your username and password, then you have to remove this U keys right here, so that you can have a strict here username and password. So if you have capital user, it should be capital. If you have capital my password, it should be capital my password. Okay. So yeah, there you go. That's how to use if else statement. So did you guys get the idea? Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six. So six students only. So I hope the others who didn't respond were also able to get this one, just at least a little. So if you have a question, so feel free to raise your hand and let's talk about your concerns. Okay, so I guess no question. All right, so let's now move on to the sample problem number 7. No more number 7. Exercise number 1. So the code is also in here already. Okay, we just have maybe some changes or a little bit different, but this is the idea on how to create something like this. Okay, and then for the exercises, okay, so as you guys can see, this is a problem with a solution. Okay, so in here we're just going to practice, okay, your analysis and how to use if else statement. So we have this condition right here. If an angle is equal to 90 degrees, show the message the angle is a right angle. Else, show the message the angle is not a right angle. So it's very straightforward. If angle is 90, then we have to display the angle is a right angle. Other than that, let's say 91 and above, 89 and below, it will now display this one because this will make the condition false. So of course, it will now execute the false statement. So message box, the angle is not a right angle. Okay. So are we clear so far regarding with exercise number 1? Okay, very good. All right, so let's move on to exercise number 2. Again, yes, Mr. Udan, do you have a question? Or maybe not. Okay, so you just accidentally press the raise hand icon. All right, so for the number 2, if the temp is above 100 degrees, display the message above the boiling point of water. Else, display the message below the boiling point of water. So again, very straightforward. If this is true, temp is greater than 100, then it will display this one above the boiling point of water. So if this is not true, then it will fall on the false statement. So else, below the boiling point of water. Okay, so that's basically how you use if else statement. Okay, and then for the number 3, okay, if the num is positive, then add number to the post sum. Okay, else add the number to next sum. All right, so for you guys to appreciate this one, I have already created this exercise number 3. So supposedly you will do this one as part of your activity or exercises, but since we don't have that much time, so I didn't give this one anymore as your additional activity. So I am not the one who made the solution for this one. All right, so let's open that project, exercise number 3. Okay, so let me show to you guys the idea for now. So this is where we can put the value. Okay, any number will do, positive or negative. So if it's positive, then it will be displayed on the post sum. Okay, post sum stands for positive sum, okay, or positive summation. So if I click add, it will be displayed on the post sum, of course. If I click add again, so of course it will trigger the entire code again. So this will be added on the existing value of this post sum. So that's the reason why we call this one post sum, because it's positive summation. Okay, it's the summation of the positive value. So 5 plus 5 is of course 10. Another 5 is 15. Another 5 is 20. If I change the value of this one into, let's say, 50. So 50 plus 20 is 70. Okay, so it just keeps on incrementing on whatever is the value of this one. However, if this is negative, so let's start with negative 3 for now. So it will be displayed on next sum. Okay, since this is negative summation. So if I click add again, so negative 3 plus negative 3 will give us negative 6. Okay, so again, plus negative 3, negative 9, plus negative 3 is negative 12. If I change this one into negative 30, then negative 30 plus negative 12 is negative 42. Okay, so yeah, that's basically how this post sum and next sum are working here. Okay, just keep on being added on that existing value of that number. So how this one is happening. So let me show to you guys the code. Oops, so we don't need that one. Maybe I've just accidentally clicked the text box. So in here I have declared a global variable. So we call this one global because this one can be called by different components already. So unlike if you have declared that one inside of that one button, then you can only use this variable inside of this button. But if you have another button right here, you can call this one. Okay, since this one is declared as a global variable. So if it's inside a component, we call that one local variable. Okay, so the reason why they were uh, declared as a global variable because we need the old values, okay, or the existing value that is being passed onto this post sum and next sum. Okay, because if it's inside of this button, once I click this button, the value of this post sum and next sum will be reset. Okay, it will be run again. So we don't want that to happen because we wanted to retain the old values, okay, that is being passed onto that variable. So in here, we have one local variable, which is your input. I mean, this one right here, your input value, your text box right here. So whatever is the value of your text box one will pass on the num. And then this is now where the comparison will be coming from. So if num is greater than 0, then of course it will be added or it will be placed on the post sum. Okay, and the same with the next sum. So if it's negative or less than 0, then it will be added on the next sum. Okay, and then whatever is the final result of your post sum and next sum right here will be displayed on their corresponding text box. So this is our text box 2, and then this is our text box 3. Okay, so I hope you guys get the idea of this one. So you can always recreate this one, just pause the video once you're watching the recorded Zoom meeting and then try to recreate this one. Okay, and then try to add something, make some changes just to know how this one work and so on and so forth. Okay, so yeah, that's the idea behind the exercise number 3. So any questions so far? Or if you were able to get this one, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7 out of 22. Okay, or 8, 9. Okay, so maybe at least half of you were able to get this one. At least maybe a little. So I'm not expecting you guys to fully understand this one, in just one sitting, while watching me in front of your computer. So programming is a long process. Okay, well, if you're a genius, then maybe you will be able to understand this one real quick. Anyway, so that's it for the exercise number 3. So we still have 6 minutes left. So let's move on to the exercise number 4. So in here, if the slope is less than 0.5, then set the variable flag to 0. Else, set flag to 1. So all you need to do is follow the condition and then what is the statement that needs to be executed. So let me just show to you guys the exercise number 4. Oops, not that one. Okay, save. All right. So in here we have one input and then one output only. So let's start the program for now and then let's discuss it while this one is running. So if the slope is less than 0.5, okay, right here, put the number. Let me change that one into put the slope value, okay, because it is the slope that is being asked. So in here, if the slope is less than 0.5, let's say 0.4, then set the variable flag to 0. Okay, else set flag to 1. But since this one is true, then it will give us a flag of 0. Okay, if this is 0.6, which is more than 0.5, oops, okay, sorry for that, let's say 0.6. So if I click verify, it will give us a flag of 1. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Basically, we just need to compare the input value here. If it's 0.5 and below, or below 0.5, it should be 0. 0.5 and above, it will display 1. So how is that happening? So here's the code. So again, we've declared one variable because we have one input only. Okay, and then that num will be the one that we'll be using to have a comparison. So if num is less than 0.5, then text box to the text is equal to 0. So it will display 0 if this is true. If this is false, then it will display this statement instead. Okay, so yeah, that's how exercise number four work. So did you guys get the idea so far? Okay, one, two. So there's only two. There's three. Okay. Okay. So at least some of you are still getting the idea. Okay. So again, if you didn't get the idea, so feel free to ask me anytime. Okay. Okay. So that's it for exercise number 4. So we still have 2 minutes. So let's do the exercise number 5. So if the difference between volts 1 and volts 2 is less than 0.001, set the variable approx to 0. Else calculate approx as volts 1 minus volts 2 divided by 2. Okay, so let me open exercise number 5 and let's run this one for now and let's see what are the conditions. So in here, if the difference between volts 1 and volts 2, let's say volts 1 minus volts 2 is less than 0.001, okay, if that is true, then we have to do this statement right here. Set the variable approx to 0. So 1 minus 0, okay, no, 1 minus 1. Okay. So 1 minus 1 is 0, and that is less than 0.001. Then it will give us an approximate value of 0. Okay, verify is equal to 0. However, if this is false, so 1 minus 0, so it's now greater than 0.001, which will fall onto the second statement. So this will be performed. Volts 1 minus volts 2, okay, which is 1 divided by 2. So 1 minus 0 is 1 divided by 2 is 1.5. Not 1.5, 0.5. Okay, so that is why we have 0.5 in here. Okay, so 4 minus 2 is still false, so it will give us, or this uh, call this one statement right here will be executed. Okay, so 4 minus 2 is 2 divided by 2 is 1. So yeah, that's how exercise number 5 is being done. So did you guys get the idea so far? And here's the code. Okay. All right. So since we don't have enough time again, we'll just continue the rest on part 3. Okay. So goodbye for now and see you guys later.